Hey everybody, Norma-Jean back again. I have another recipe video for you. As you can see, I'm a little festive today because when I make these, it reminds me of Christmas. So let's call this video Christmas in July. So I am making potato croquettes for you today, and I'm going to show you two ways to do them, and I'm going to explain why there's two ways to do them. One way is how my grandmother did it from when I was a kid. It's the way I remember until I married my husband and was welcomed and opened up into the world of Mary. She made them a totally different way. She made them all the time. My grandmother only made them on Christmas Eve. My mother-in-law made these all the time. Potato croquettes. So I'm going to start by showing you the ingredients first, like I usually do. I have some red potatoes, and just so I can give you some measurements while I'm talking, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 red potatoes, and they're like a medium size. Okay? I like red potatoes for these. The consistency of the red potato is beautiful. They actually come creamy when you mash them. So please try to use a red potato. One time, I'll share this with you, I used a different kind of potato, and it was on Christmas Eve when I was expecting about 40 people for dinner. And I went to go start mixing these and getting them ready, and the potatoes were full of water. Horrible. So I had to make a casserole instead. The casserole was really good, it went, but, you know, has to be a croquette. Red potatoes. So, red potatoes, eggs, grated cheese, salt and pepper, fresh parsley, a must, fresh garlic. And I don't think I left anything out. I have corn oil here for frying. I've got my fry pan ready. I have another egg ready in this dish because the way my mother-in-law did them, you'll see why I needed another egg. And, oh, my breadcrumbs for frying. But then I also have some flour for frying, and I'll show you the difference. Okay, so I'm going to get some of this stuff chopped, and I'll be right back. Okay, back again. So I've got my parsley and garlic chopped, and not too fine. You'd like to see the parsley. Okay, now I want to show you how we're going to get these potatoes prepped for this. My mother-in-law used this. It's a ricer. My grandmother used this. Now, depending on what mood I'm in, Christmas Eve or just every day, depends on what tool I use. But I'm going to show you how to use this ricer. So, I'm going to take some skin off of one of these potatoes. And you know what I've told you before, these red potatoes, the skin is so thin on them. Sorry, I'm leaving the camera. The skin is so thin on them that they're really easy to work with. And I will add that these potatoes were boiled, and I left them on the counter to cool. So they are at room temperature, which is the best ideal temperature for the potato when you're going to make this. Okay, into the ricer. This is a pain. This is such a pain. But it really makes the potatoes a nice consistency. And I'll tip the bowl and I'll show you after what this is. Can you see it coming out of there? Look at that. Really makes them a nice consistency. You know, when you mash potatoes too much, they get very starchy and can get like wallpaper glue. Okay, which is why a lot of people like to use the ricer. I'll show you, see? But I'm a little pressed for time, so I'm gonna peel them and mash them. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm in the middle of getting these potatoes mashed up. And yeah, I ended up doing the masher. I did one more potato with the ricer, but I'm nursing a bad wrist right now. I'm okay, but anyway. But you know, I'm going to tell you the truth. I like them with the masher because I like getting a piece of potato in my croquette. I like to see it. So I'm being careful not to mash these too much. I just want to make sure that there's no big hunks left. And this looks good. All right, let me show that to you. Okay, so there are the potatoes. My hands are clean. I washed them right before I came back on. But see, they're not too mashed. And see, here's a little piece of potato. I like that. Okay, let's get it mixed. 2 eggs. Hold on. I'm gonna be sorry if I do that over the potato, right? Okay, here we go, no shells. All right, 2 eggs into there. Now I do have to wipe my hands. I have this thing about eggs and chicken, like a hazardous zone. I wash my hands after every time I touch them. Okay, so you got 2 eggs in there. Into here, you're gonna put some grated cheese. Now, I'm gonna do a mix of grated cheese. I have Parmesan, okay? So we're gonna call this 1/4 cup of Parmesan. And let's go with about a 1/2 cup of the Pecorino Romano. A couple of different flavors in there. I just like to mix it up. Salt. That's about a good tablespoon of salt. Again, you're not going to have to go crazy with the salt because there's a lot of cheese in this. And we have the black pepper. I'll do it right in one spot. And that's like a nice 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, okay? Beautiful. Parsley and garlic. That's going right in. And that's it. That's it, my friends. Now, these get mixed with your hands. I'm sorry, but like I said, my hands are clean. You have to go in with your hands. I'll tell you why, because you need to feel the consistency of it. When you start to mix these, you'll know if you need another egg or if you need maybe a little tablespoon of flour if they're not thick enough. But I very seldom have to do that because I've gotten very good at knowing how many potatoes I have and how many eggs I need. So keep that in mind. I think I told you I had 5 medium-sized potatoes. Yes, that's what I had. And I used 2 eggs, and this is absolutely beautiful. I can shape it with my hand, and that's the consistency that you want. I'll be right back. I'm going to get my counter set up. All right, I'm all set up and ready to go. So I'm going to fry. So you see I have the wax paper on the counter. Now in one spot, I have just plain flour. And what I'm going to do to this plain flour is just put a few shakes of salt, a few shakes of black pepper, just so it's not so bland. Put that one side. This is my grandmother's way. My mother-in-law used seasoned breadcrumbs. So I'm gonna make a pile of those. In this bowl, I beat up, in a shallow bowl, I beat up a couple of eggs. Again, my mother-in-law, my grandmother. Okay, here we go. So you're gonna take out a hunk of the potato. It's about the size of a meatball. And you're gonna shape it so it looks like, she used to call them like a large, like a barrel. See that? Okay. This is what my grandmother did on Christmas Eve. She rolled them in flour. That's it. You know, it's funny because she did the potato croquettes this way, and she also did the shrimp this way. And they were my 2 favorite things. Ooh, I'll do a version of these one time. Sometimes she used to put the shrimp in the potatoes. You know, I have an old video of shrimp croquettes. If you look up my YouTube page, I'll go all the way back on my my Facebook page, you'll see it. So this is what my grandmother did. And look how beautiful they stay together. My mother-in-law, however, same shape, same ingredients, but my mother-in-law was a very fancy, perfectionist person. So she would take this barrel of potato, she'd roll it in an egg wash just like you're making a cutlet, and she would put it in the breadcrumbs. So what's different is that when you fry them with the breadcrumbs on them, naturally they're going to have a more crispy coating. However, you're going to be surprised. I'm going to show you with the flour how beautiful they brown. Okay, so I'm going to get the rest of these rolled up for you. I'm going to do a few of each. Let's start with the flour ones because those are easy. You know, thinking of this, it's funny. What made me do these today was because I watch Christmas movies all year long. Now you know something about me. A little more personal. Love Christmas. And last night, you know, there was nothing on. And I love the movie Feast of the Seven Fishes, and I haven't watched it in a while. It wasn't in the theaters, it's not like some big popular movie, but I believe it's on like Amazon Prime. I think you can get it on Netflix too. You can get it on Tubi, I think. Feast of the Seven Fishes. The only person that you'll probably really recognize in it, that's a big name, a big Hollywood name, is Joe Pantoliano from The Sopranos. This movie was so well done. And I watched it last night again, and they didn't make croquettes, but everything else about this movie, when I tell you, was Christmas in the 80s. And the movie takes place 1983, and it just amazed me, whoever wrote this movie, because the family owned a meat market, just like my father-in-law and my husband. And the preparation, like they said, the Christmas Eve, it's all about the journey, getting to the Christmas Eve feast. And what a great movie. What a great movie. So I watched it last night, and it kind of reminded me again, and I just love that feeling of the 1980s Christmas. Oh boy. And I said, oh, I think I'll do the potato croquettes tomorrow. It's all right. So these are my mother-in-law's, and my grandmother's are in the flour. Okay, so you don't have to keep watching me do this. I'm gonna shut you off. But hold on, wait, I gotta get a piece of paper towel or something. I don't wanna touch my phone. I'm gonna have to sterilize it. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, so they're all rolled. Let's see how you can see this. Okay. Grandmother, mother-in-law. This was funny, huh? I love them both ways. They both bring back memories for me. Christmas Eve, Sunday dinner. So, I'm gonna move you over to the stove. Okay, so we're back on the stove, and I have a fry pan. Not too much oil in it, right? You don't want to submerge these in oil, okay? I never have, so I'm gonna tell you not to. Don't deep fry them. No way could they take the heat. So, feels pretty good, and we're gonna get these fried. And what are we gonna cook them up with? Let's try this. Okay, so into the hot oil. There you go. The oil's not too hot yet, but it's getting there. So I'm gonna do both at the same time, so I can show you. This is that ceramic coated Michelangelo pan. Even with the pan not that hot, I should have waited a little bit. Nothing sticks in it, so it's beautiful. Anyway, all right, they're coming up now. So once these are coming up to a fry, I'm gonna come right back. Okay, these came up to a nice fry. The temperature's good. So to start, I've got 4 with the breadcrumbs. They're in the front, and 4 with the flour. And that's something. I don't know if it has something to do with the area in Italy where each of them came from, but they both did them different. Same mix. The mix was exactly the same. It was just how they prepared them that was different. Beautiful. And I just can't wait until I can show you how both of them, even with just the flour, how they brown. Beautiful. The breadcrumbs, I'll tell you, the ones with the breadcrumbs do brown quicker. But, oh yeah, my floured ones are doing beautiful. See if I can hold that up for you. That's with just the flour. But as you can see, the ones with the breadcrumbs get a little more golden. So you're not going to get like that dark crust with the ones that you're just doing with the flour. It is a lot easier to do though. But you'll still get a browning. All right, now again, my heat's up high on this, I want to tell you, because you don't want to leave them in the oil too long. They will fall apart. All right, so the idea is to get them quickly fried and browned and get them out of the pan, which is why I say do not deep fry these, because I think you will end up with a mess. They are a little sensitive, but these are doing beautiful. Okay, I will be back in a few minutes when these are all browned, and I'll show you what both look like. These are almost ready to take out of the pan, so I'll do a little quick recap for you now. So 5 medium, regular size red potatoes, 2 eggs. I did a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and about a 1/2 cup of Pecorino Romano cheese. Salt and pepper, fresh garlic, fresh parsley, chopped. And don't forget, when you boil these potatoes, let them cool on the counter, get them to room temperature. A little tip, if you were making them for a lot of people and you're doing a lot, I've done this before, and you want to prep them the day before, that's okay. You can boil the potatoes, take them out of the fridge the next day, but keep them on the counter for a little while so the potatoes get to the room temp, all right? You can also prep these, get them either coated with the flour, coated with the breadcrumbs the day before, put them in the fridge. The only thing you need to pay attention to is sometimes they will make some water. They might get a little soggy from being in the refrigerator, and you might have to recoat them a little bit. So I don't strongly suggest doing that. However, you can get the potatoes definitely boiled the day before. Just take them out and bring them to room temp. And these are looking great. So let's turn this one over, and I'm going to take a couple out of the pan for you. Look at that. I'm telling you, these are off the charts good. When my grandmother would serve them on Christmas Eve with the fried shrimp, she would make like a little lemon butter sauce. My mother-in-law didn't make any particular sauce with them. They were usually just a side dish. So there are the fried ones. I'm sorry, the ones with the breadcrumb. And here is the one with just the flour. So it looks good. I will agree that the breadcrumbs hold them together a little bit better, but I had to make my grandmother's also. I just had to. I just couldn't do this Christmas in July without bringing her into the picture. I'll be right back, and we're going to taste them. Okay, I'm back. Wow, this is a long video. 19 minutes and 45 seconds, and it's going to be more. So let me just show you these. Breadcrumbs, flour, They're both beautiful. They both held their shape. So I'm gonna take one of each. And I gotta cut one open for you. Look at that. It's so good. This is the one with just the flour. Okay, same thing, just a different process to cook them. If you have any questions, please in the comments, let me know. Hold on. Oh my God. The measurements I gave you were perfect. Perfect, not too much salt. You can taste the cheese, you can taste the pasta, the garlic. Oh. And who doesn't like a good potato? I love potatoes. I'll eat potatoes anyway. Delicious. My house smells like Christmas Eve. I'm very excited. Okay. Oh, and if you can watch that movie, Feast of the Seven Fishes. That was my life in the 80s. Take care. I'll be back again soon.